Hey everybody, welcome back to another Diecast review repair, something like that. Today we've actually got a special repair. This was sent in by Diehard. I forgot the number order. I think it's 33888. 3888, I think. I might have the numbers wrong, but it's Diehard. So if you see him in the comments below, this is his. He sent me this. So this is a beauty. This is a color chrome version of the Goodwrench Service Plus car. Very, very good looking car. And this is just a basic car. Oh, you can hear the screw. There it is. One of the screws I've already taken out. Let's go ahead and grab that over there. All right, so what we're doing today is we're actually going to be moving and replacing the front axle. You can see it's broken. We are missing the front one over there. And we're going to put it with this, a fully functioning front axle. So there's a little bit of trickery to it, but we're going to go ahead and dig in right here. So first thing you'll notice, I already took out the screws here and here. Those two screws hold on these braces. Now these braces on the last one I showed you, which was a Gen 6, are plastic. These here, I'm feeling them, I think they're metal. So with these, what I did, and this may not be the perfect way to do it, but I got this turned all the way in. I got this little screwdriver kind of poked in there like this and just pried up a little bit. Not a lot. You just have to get it enough to pop the wheel out. See, now it's loose and I can move it because it's a post. And once you get that post out of there, it's got all this freedom. So now that I've got it poked out, I do have to remove this piece here in order to be able to slide the axle out. So you can see here, we're going to go ahead and slide the axle out. And there we go. So you can see what happened here was this piece here broke. This is having trouble focusing. Let me see if I can get it to focus. There you go. Kind of, sort of. There. So there's the piece that broke. Where's the wheel? I think the wheel actually fell out of the box when I was pulling it out. Or not out of the box, out of the bag. It was in the little, the little cloth thing. And so that fell out. But right now, we're back to normal, square one. So the only thing is this piece here will have to get kind of put back down. And then, there's a little detach here. I don't think he's going to care as much about this as having a nice, posable wheel set that's not broken. So as I said, tiny little repair up here. Totally worth it when you get, a functioning front axle again. There is no other way to get that out other than breaking the axle. Here's the downside. You can't put it back in. So you actually have to have both sides of this up, or at least up enough to get the wheel in. And because there's a wheel on each side here, I think I'm going to have to actually do it to both sides. So I think this side actually might be up. So I can slide the axle up underneath this little guard here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it back as is. He can do the gluing here as far as use whatever glue he would choose. I know what I would choose. I would use a dab of super glue right there, and I would just stick it down and hold it and hope it lasts. Otherwise, worst case scenario, pull the whole thing off. It doesn't do anything. If anything, I would say maybe pull the whole thing off, but you find a good way to get it stuck down. Anyway, nonetheless, let's show you how to take out the good one, because the good one does have to do some damage. No, I shouldn't say damage. It doesn't have to do damage, but you do have to do some work to it. So right here, you see the first thing here, this, all very, very solid. That has to come up. There's nothing we can do. If we want to get these wheels out, we have to do something about these here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to get this little screwdriver in here. I'm going to pry on it. You can hear it right there. It just kind of clicked. What it did is it essentially broke the glue. There you go. And right there's the two spots. You see how that's nice and loose now? And what you're doing, again, you are technically breaking the car, but you're breaking it in two spots. Right here on the frame and right here on the frame. So you are breaking it in two spots where you can re-dab it with glue and it'll come back together. What you don't want to do is break it right here, halfway in the middle, halfway here. You're not getting that put back together. I wouldn't even say back here. You don't even want to break it way back here. That's not getting put back together. You're going to want, sorry guys, let me try and get a better view here. Yeah, this might work. You definitely want to break it. Again, I have to say break it up here. Because when you do have to break it way back here, that's not going to glue together well. Up here, nothing here. It's going to glue together well. So right here is the only place where you're going to have semi-success with having to glue it back together and having it stay there. Because these other parts are going to get way too messy and complicated. So let's go ahead and we're going to go work on pulling this axle out. So the first thing I'm going to do, and it's hard to see here. Let's see, how do I want to get in there? I want to go in this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm just going to kind of push up a little bit. I don't want to put a ton of force into this. I just want to use a little force. Try to work the base here off. Okay, so that side's not really cooperating. I'm going to start over here and see. You kind of have to work with it because because of how they're built, they can get very finicky. Oh, there we go. And here's the thing. So what you're doing, let me see if I, sorry guys, I just realized you guys couldn't see that. So what I'm doing is I'm working with the post, which is right about here. Oh gosh, sorry, I'm working on the phone here. So right here, right in this spot, it's really, can I get a better view? I'll go to 4x zoom. I'll try and zoom it out a little bit more. Hey, that's not so bad. Look at that. Look at this camera, guys. There's a phone right there. See where that's pointing? This little post right here. You have to get this piece up so that the post will come out, and then you can pull that part out. Same on the other side. However, sometimes this will be a really tight fit. So not only, because if you push this up, it may just stay in there. So what you want to do is kind of get it pushed up, but you want to get it pried off. Again, be very careful. You don't want to totally destroy it. I said, if you have a donor car, which means you have no interest in saving the thing, you can be a little bit more reckless. But being this is not my car, I'm going to be a little bit more careful about trying to get that peeled out of there. So we're going to be very, very cautious. Trying to make sure you guys can see, but I also want to make sure I can see, because I need to be able to see what I am working with here. Let's see, I'll try going over to this side. And what I do... There we go. It wiggled. All right, up we go. Come on. Come on. Okay. All right, so we're out on this wheel here now. The shock part is out. However, I still need to get the base here out. That can be done a number of ways here. I'm going to try and just poke on it, see if it'll move. Doesn't look like it's still being a little bit of a pain. Alrighty, so we did figure something out just as a quick little break in the video here. What we ended up doing to finally get the edge here, or this piece out, I ended up actually just having to bend it a little higher. So it was about, you can see what the gap is here, a little bit of wiggle to it, but it was about half as much. So I basically went in there and just pried, then I just kind of gave it an extra little boost. And that was enough to get this loose and this loose. So I got them both loose on each side. So now that our front axle is loose, and I say front axle because it's the whole shebang. It's not actually an axle, it's a front spindle, but you get the point. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop this up. I'm going to pick this up and just slide it to the front. We'll do maybe one side at a time. It's a little tough though. So we'll get to there. Lift this side up. We'll get this side to come forward. Okay, so it fell down. So it's a little tricky. But we are getting it forward. There we go, and there we go. Okay, so here we go. We have a fully... Oops, hold on. Sorry, guys. A little tough to see. Yeah, we'll go with the 2x zoom. So we have a full front axle now, removed from that one. Now, what you need, see from here, this is the angle it's going to be at. So this part up here is going to be on the bottom. This part's going to be up top. See that little knob? Oh, boy, it's having trouble focusing. Let's try the camera here. So, ooh, boy. Oh boy, it is trying, but it is not succeeding. There you can see it. See that little notch on top? That is the notch that will sometimes break off and make it so that your wheels don't sit straight, they don't turn right. Sometimes they break down here on these pivot points. You can see where it allows it to turn. So there's a number of things that can cause it to break, but this is one good condition one. As you can see, we'll go back to this one. It actually broke before it even got there. You can see where it pivots. You can see where it pivots here. And it broke right off that. So basically it broke right on this piece right here. Sorry. So it broke right on this piece here. Again, very hard to see, but it broke on that piece right here that's moving. So that's the part that had broken. So now we're going to be done with this car. This car, we got the part we needed. Not really anything else we can do with it. So we're just going to move it along. You know, we're not going to put this back in it because it's busted. Like, there's no point. So worst case scenario, we'll use it for some parts and pieces or something, and we'll make something fun out of it. Maybe I'll use it and we'll touch up an old or a new Elite with some parts and pieces and see what we can do. But for the time being, we're gonna go ahead and get this Grail. I think this is a Grail. I don't know. I don't know this car super well. I was not a huge Earnhardt guy because I didn't watch till 2004. So the whole Dale Earnhardt thing completely flew over my head. But let's go ahead and look here. So first thing you'll see here. We've got this already popped up on both sides. This side a little more than this side, but we are going to have to pop both sides up to a decent height. So I've got that where it is. Now, we got to make sure we put it in the correct direction. You definitely don't want to mix this up. And what does that mean? It means this piece here, okay, there you can say it better. So it points to the front. So that means it's going to go like this. This is, if you're looking at it from the back, it points this way. Well, the car's upside down. Flip it upside down. It's going to be like this. So this wheel's still on the right side. You can see it's kind of swiveling, but once we get it down in there, it should be sitting just like that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start here. I'm going to take a look how I want to attack trying to get this in there. I think what we'll do is we'll do that side first because it's so much stiffer. It's a little bit harder to get something down in there. Let's see here. I'm going to rotate that so I have some wiggle room to work with here. Look at all that detail up there. Ain't that beautiful? Just beautiful, man. Let's see here. There's a little gap, but man, that is going to be a tight squeeze. I think we can still do it though. I'm going to go ahead and drop in over the top. Try and get the wheel to maybe squeeze inside the fender here. Well, not really working either. So maybe what we'll do is we'll slide the first part underneath here. Kind of get it started so we can start moving it up and in. No, that's not going to work either. So I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to get this a little bit higher so I can get the whole thing under, because the whole thing's going to kind of have to go together as it comes in. So what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and go from the front here. Nope, didn't work there either. So I'm fighting with it a little bit, but this is all what I call unessential. So theoretically, I could just pull this up a lot higher and make it really easy on myself, but I'm trying to conserve the car as much as possible. This piece here isn't busted, so I don't want to bust it if I don't have to. I don't know if I have that choice. We'll find out. I might be able to kind of squeeze it underneath here and then work on it through some kind of gap like that. But I gotta make sure I can do it within a certain reasonable approach. Let's see. Go in from the top. Say we just get it plopped in here. That popped up. I just gotta pop it up a little higher. Maybe that's what I'll do. There we go. There we go. Get crossed over there. There we go. All right. We'll cross it over to here. And we'll pop this up. Pull that down. Alright, so it ain't perfect, but I'm getting a lot closer. So that's in there. You can see that got kind of stuck, which will be fine because we're gonna go ahead and pop that up, drop it in, and we're pretty much on point now. We're darn close. We're not perfect, but we're darn close. You can see everything's kind of wedged in there, but now we're in the right spot. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry guys, I didn't get it. So we did get it dropped into the right spot. You can see the wheels are in the right area. They're not locked, they're not put back in perfectly, but they're in the right spot. They're sitting in the right, kind of location. Now I can start working on getting them put back in each spot they belong in. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the steering shaft, make sure I can line that up as soon as I find it. There it is. So it is almost in the right spot. Looks like I actually am lined up on the steering shaft. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to line up the left side first because this side had a little less flexibility. So I have a little bit more slack in the axle to work with on this one. And we're going to grab this here because I'm going to have to pull this up to be able to get it to slide back in place. I'm going to try and get it at at an angle you guys can see. It is difficult though. Let me see if I can slide this way, turn my camera this way. So then the camera will actually be closer to right in the middle of where I'm working, but at least I can see it. All right, so there, now you guys can see what I'm working on. We're gonna go ×4 zoom. So it's gonna get wild. Get ready. Get ready for some fast hand moves, okay? All right, so here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and get this. Sorry, there we go. And we'll get that slid up in there. I know you're in there somewheres. getting close. It's a lot easier when you're just doing it yourself, I promise. It's only really hard when you have a camera in between you and a car. That's where it gets tough, because you're essentially trying to work around it and from a distance. Let's try doing this. I'm going to slide it out here. I'm going to try and slide my hand up. Oops, slide my hand up underneath. See if that allows me to. Okay. So what is happening right now, just so you guys know, is basically I'm having trouble getting it in the hole because it's leaned. It's actually tipped towards the back. It's not straight up and down. So what I'm trying to do is just get it close enough that I can get it kind of in the hole, and then I can start maneuvering it. There we go. Okay, so we made it in the hole. Now from there, all I have to do is get it snapped up into place. So we're going to actually rotate it this way. And then we're going to go ahead and pop this up a little bit. I think we are in. Yep, so we just got one side in there. Left and right side, or not left and right, up and down is good. That part's good, so all we have to do for that side is put the screw in, but we're going to do the other side first because you need a little bit of flexibility. So that side is in, locked in place. As I said, the only thing that has to get done after you get these fixed is this has to get glued back down. But outside of that, that is all the damage you have to do. And that's a big deal for saving an Elite diecast, especially one this nice. This is a very nice car. The other one, probably about a $15 to $20 to maybe $25 car. I don't want to be mean about it, but I don't think it's overly... it's not an overly like sought after grail or anything, but this car here is. So that's why it's important that you can take a part off a $20 car and fix a very nice, expensive car, because you can, you know, save a very valuable car and not have to try and go find a new one or something like that. So, all right. So the first thing I'm going to have to do here is actually get this to pull back a little bit. Go ahead and, yeah, I'm blocking the camera now. So I'm not trying to. I promise, people. I promise. Actually, this air angle might work right here. All right, so I'm gonna get that kind of. Nah, see, I'm getting in the way again, man. That's my problem. See, I just keep getting in the way, and then you guys can't see. I will figure something out. I promise. I'm working on it. Okay. Let's go about there. There we go. I may have to just do this one off camera. This one's tough. Oops, nope, stay on the cloth. You're not allowed to go nowhere. All right, let's see here. Okay. So actually I had to just reline something up because it looks like what was happening was the little steering bar was actually kind of in the way. And it was actually keeping the wheel pointed the wrong direction, which was making it much harder on me than it needed to be. Oh darn it, it's trying to slide off the cloth here. I'm trying to protect it to the best of my ability. Okay, so here we go. You'll see again, this hole right here, I have it lined up. Now my job is to get in here and get it to, gosh, I'm sorry about the camera view here, guys. But I am trying to fix a car, so let's see. What angle can I get where I don't have to block you guys? Oh, wow, these are terrible views, man. I'm sorry. I am going to profusely apologize by the time this video is over. Nope, still not in. So, there we go. We're going to back this out a little bit. Then we're going to get in here. And what I'm doing, let me see if I can get a good quick view so I can show you guys what I'm looking at here. 2, maybe 4. Alright, so I'm pulling it off the tripod so we can take a quick look. So, what you're seeing is right there. See that spot, that hole, that spindle needs to line up in that hole. In order to do that, because of how tight a fit it is, I have to move this piece right here where the screw is. See how it's off the frame? I have to move that piece up to be able to make room to put it in that hole. So that's what I'm doing. It's hard to get a good view because it's such a small hole, and I got to put my hand in there to be able to put it in there. But that's where I'm at on the step. So I have this hole. There you see the hole on top. That hole is lined up. It's really hard to see, but it's... there, let's lighten it up. Right there in the dead center of the screen. That is the hole I lined up already. That hole on the bottom is not lined up down there. That one is what I'm going to line up next. But I have to move this piece here with the screw. It has to kind of move up to give me enough room for that little peg to fit into that hole, and then it'll kind of squeeze back together. So that's what I'm going to do next. You're unfortunately not going to get to see it because you're going to be a lot farther back. And I have to get my hands in the way to be able to do that. So that's where, unfortunately, you're only going to get to watch my hands on this one because I have such a tight squeeze trying to get this to squeeze in there. Excuse me. Excuse me again, man. I think I need to get some water. Choking on my own spit. Let's see here. Can I go in from this side? Not really. I don't want to go in from there. That's too much of a squeeze to me. There we go. Get in there. There we go. All right. So, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get it put back together quick. But you'll notice turns correctly, moves correctly. I'm not going to wiggle it too much because I don't want to wiggle it out of place. But it is all corrected. So all there is left to do is to put the 2 screws back in. So we're going to take our handy-dandy screwdriver and 2 of the screws that came out. I have 4 screws there because I took 2 out of the donor. So that's the only pieces that had to come out with those 2 screws. So here's one. I'm going to get that put back in there. And I'm not going to push on it too hard. I'm not going to squeeze it too hard because I know, this piece here is kind of bent. I'm going to leave that for kind of his own discretion. He can bend it back. He can push it back. A lot of options there, but at least it's in place, There's minor tweaking you can do. I just don't like to do that on someone else's car. I'm more than willing to on my own because I don't have to worry about if I goof a little something up here or there. But you can see we definitely got it definitely a lot closer. Let's make sure, yep, that's still pegged in place. Those are still pegged in place. Steering column looks good. So yeah, the only thing left is really that, again, these pieces here that get bent out, you can see this one is not quite back in place yet. I actually might be able to put that back in place now that I see it. Oh, it's bending the tailpipes in. It's not actually pulling that out. It needs to come out. That's what needs to happen. Come on out, you. Let's try loosening this up just a smidge. See if that little bit extra freedom gives it enough mobility to go back at home into its place. I think there's a gap on all sides, so I don't think it's anything. I think it actually might just be it's a little bit bent from when I had to get it to pop out. But again, it is functioning fine. So you know what? I'm going to leave it as is for now because I don't want to push it too far. So you just kind of get a nice little bit of pressure there, get it nice and tight. But it's, see, I'm not torquing it. I'm just getting a little bit of pressure on it so it's not loose. But right there you can see we have our opposable wheels back. We have our steering column back. This wiggles a little bit on each side. That's probably fairly normal when you've replaced one of these. It's not going to be quite as flush as it was when it was brand new. But let's go ahead and flip this thing over because we're going to do a diecast review on it because, if I'm going to repair it, I may as well review it, right? But you can see we did get it all fixed. We got a functioning steering column back. You can't hardly see, but if you look in here at the steering wheel, it's really hard to see. But the steering wheel is moving. You can kind of see it wiggling there. It's not moving much, I'm not going to lie. but it is moving. So you can kind of see it there moving back and forth. But yeah, so we did get it all fixed up. It's all good to go. We'll get it polished up because I got my my little fingerprints all over it, and I like to get them all cleaned up. I'm not going to put any chemical or nothing on it. Just, you know, you clean it off, not with water, nothing. You just get one of these cloths. You just kind of polish it up. Make sure you get all the stuff off it you can. And then we're going to take a look at it on the review side. So this will probably come out after the review because the review I can just put together real quick. But I want to make sure everything looks good on the underside. It looks pretty darn good. I'm pretty happy with how this came out. So looks like it was a good repair. So we basically were able to salvage it and get it all put back together safely. So yeah, Die Hard, hope you like it. Hope you hope it's good enough. It's the best I can get. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed. Ask any questions in the comments below. I will try to answer them as best that I can. Whether it's this generation car, the later Gen 4s, Gen 5, Gen 6, the whole works. I can answer them just to the best of my ability and kind of go from there. As I said, that was just a front steering assembly, but, you know, there's other pieces and parts that, you know, if you have any problems with anything that you broke, let me know. I'll try to help you fix it. But other than that, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you've enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next Diecast review.